Hi, good morning everyone. It's Julia from Crosspatch. It's September and it's sunny outside. We're having an Indian summer. It's beautiful. I was looking through my videos the other day, so it's just a quickie because I realised I haven't done a separate video on its own on how I make my zipper units. So this is a finished zipper unit. It's a small one, and I'm going to show you how I do it because that's what got me over my phobia of putting zips in things. So they will work with most things. So with your bags, if you've got a load of tote bags made up and they haven't got a zip in, you can make a zipper unit and add it to the top of your tote bag. So there's one. Here's another one. I've got one on the top of this one. You can add it to your stitching folders. So there's two on the pockets on that one. Or on my circle bags, add them easily around the outside of that. A zip on a circle sounds ridiculously difficult, but it's not. And you overlap it on the end so that the bag will open right out. So I've got them on that. And I'll show you my new one later on that I finished last night. Okay, so to make a zipper unit, get a zip which is a lot longer than the project you're making. So most of my tote bags are about 16.5 inches wide. So I've got a stash of an awful lot of 20-inch zips, which I will practically do everything. So get your zip. So here's my zip. You want 2.5-inch strips of fabric. So if you've got a load of jelly roll bits left over, stash those because you can use them for your zipper binding. So you will fold those. Make sure they're a bit longer than your zip, and then you can trim off any excess. Fold them in half, fold them in half again, and this will encase your zip. So you'll put these either side of your zip, like so. Now if Joyce is behaving, I'll bring her over and we'll just sew the bit of one side in, so I can just prove to you don't even need to put a zipper foot in and how easy it is. I'm not going to bore you with tedious hours of me stitching straight lines. So I've got a zip here and I've encased it with the binding. So I've got the binding on there. So I'm going to put the binding under the foot. All I've got on here is on my Bernina, it's a 97D foot, which is a 1/4 inch foot, and it's got so that if you're quilting it'll drive the foot, which is the D bit. I put the zip under there, put the foot down, and I put my setting to a longer, it's on a 3, because you're going through 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of fabric and your zipper fabric at the same time. Let's put the needle down and then let's go. And that will just stitch nicely all along. Okay, when you put the other side in, I'm not going to stitch it all. As I said, I'm not going to bore you with the tedium of watching me stitching. Let's just move Joyce out the way. It will stitch really easy. When you get to the other end and the zip's in the way, just pull your zip out of the way. Okay, when you've got both of those bits on, get rid of these horrible metal bits on the end because I've broken so many needles. So just do a line of stitching across the end of your zip to hold it together, and then cut off the bit that's got that horrible metal bit on. Now to measure the size you want for your bag, get your zipper unit, hold it across the bag and add on like a good inch and a half on either end. Okay, now on the end of your zip you want to put the tabs in to hold it down. Now the tabs I usually do 3 inches by 2.5 inches. So the 3 inches will wrap round your zip. So here's one. So wrap that around your zip, if you can see on the back where it's just crossed over, and stitch across it, and then you just pull it up like so, and you fold it over, and you fold it over again, and you top stitch it. However, this is what you do just for the tote bags. When we do the pockets on the like stitching folders and things, it's slightly different, so I'll tell you about that at the end. So this is just if you're doing tote bags. If you want a bigger pull on the end, obviously make a longer piece of fabric. So maybe do a 4-inch piece of fabric if you want a longer piece on the end. I don't know if I've got any here with longer bits on the end. I don't think I have, no. Okay, so you do that both ends and you will end up with a finished zipper unit which will look like that. Okay, now I'm going to drag Joyce back just to prove how easy it is to sew a zipper unit on. Grab a bag. So here's a tote bag I made yonks ago, and it hasn't got a zip in because I still had zip phobia at the time. This is a panel actually that I've just got back in. It's the Three Sisters panel that I made into a simple tote bag. So we're going to do, it's been on the to-do list forever to do a demo for that. It'll be coming next. So find the middle of your bag, find the middle of your zip. Okay, and then just take the zip to the middle of the bag and pin it in place. Let's grab a pin. Can't find any pins now. It's me organised as usual. Let's grab a pin. So I've got wrong sides together, okay? So the wrong side of the zip to the wrong side of the bag, and I'm going to pretend that I've measured it exactly in the middle and I've pinned that on the middle. And then I'm going to go to the other end of the bag. So about 1 inch away from the edge of your bag, you'll start stitching there. So let's take it back to Joyce. Put it under the machine there. And this 1/4 inch foot is really good because it's got like a little notch where it's about 1/8 of an inch. And I use that as a guide, and I stitch about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of the zip. Okay, so we'll just sew a little bit along. Come on, machine. And I will stitch that all the way along to within 1 inch of the other end of the bag. Okay, let's move that back out the way. So that's as easy as it is to sew your zip on the top of your bag. When you do the other side, you get to the other side, just open the zip and then you can stitch the other side onto the other side of your bag. Obviously this will have been stitched all the way along. And then you can just sew that bit to the other side of your bag. So it's stitched really nicely. So just 1/8 of an inch from the edge of your bag and you'll have a zip in the top of your bag like so. Okay, now if you're making, like I've just made last night, I've just made myself this stitching folder. Okay, so this is a new pattern coming soon, and I wanted a zip on the pocket inside. Okay, so I've got a pocket one side of this. Now, instead of making a completely enclosed zipper unit like that, I've left the tab, let's grab the one off that I've just sewn to the top of here. I've left one end loose like that, okay? Leave one, instead of folding that over twice that you would do for the bag, leave it open and leave that open end on the raw end of this pocket. So that's an enclosed end of my zipper unit, and on that end I've just left the flap open and it'll disappear into the edge of your seam when you're putting the bag together. Because if you folded it and made this zipper unit, you're then trying to enclose the whole of this lot into your seam, which would make it really bulky and you'd have a great big bump in the seam there, which you don't have if you just leave the edge one single strip, so the raw edge like that. So just leave it like that, and then you can cut off any excess when you've sewn the pocket into your bag. So that pocket was just placed on the top of the lining fabric. So this is the lining fabric. That was just a panel for the pocket. I placed the pocket, the top of the zip I sewed to the top of the pocket, and then I put the pocket with that part of the zip sewn onto it on top of the lining fabric, and then I top stitched along there before I put it together with the bag. So you've just got a bit of lining fabric on its own, you've got the pocket with the zip sewn just to the top edge of the pocket, put the pocket on top of the lining fabric and then stitch across the top, and then you can put your bag together. So then you've got a nice zip in your stitching folder. So that's a really easy way of doing it. The same would apply if you were doing it on these ones. Okay, so make your zipper unit, but don't fold in these end bits twice, just leave them as a raw edge to be caught in the seam when you're putting your bag together. Okay, so that's a really easy way of doing it. So I'll be back soon with a demo on the Octaflower bag, how I make this. That'll be coming soon. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day. Enjoy the sunshine. It's beautiful out there. The elf is coming up today. We're going to play with panels. So we're going to do some slow stitching. So I'll show you that next time on one of these panels. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.